Good day everyone, it is cryptoportfolio.io project and my name is Dan. Today I want to tell you in details what ETF of Bitcoin or exchange traded fund, and as we already know its failure, mean for cryptocurrency sphere, especially considering Ethereum in this context. Do we, Ethereum users, need ETFs? This is the question I'm going to answer in a bit. Let's start with the definition of ETF. An ETF, or exchange-traded fund, is a marketable security that tracks an index, a commodity, bonds, or a basket of assets, like an index fund. Unlike mutual funds, an ETF trades like a common stock on a stock exchange. ETFs experience price changes throughout the day, as they are bought and sold. ETFs typically have higher daily liquidity and lower fees than mutual fund shares, making them an attractive alternative for individual investors. As you can see, usually ETFs consist of many different assets, but Winklevoss twins wanted a pure Bitcoin fund. ETFs have more than $2 trillion in assets. That's 87 times bigger number than capitalization of all cryptocurrencies. What are the advantages of ETFs? It is better in terms of costs and taxes than mutual funds, but costs are still very high. Better start making your portfolio in Melon Port. Also, usually ETFs are highly diversified, but when we talk about pure Bitcoin ETF, there is not much diversification and risk resistance. The disadvantages? Well, about the biggest disadvantage we already know. Security Exchange Commission doesn't have a light stance towards new digital assets, that's for sure. Why would any cryptocurrency want listing in ETF? More investors. There is a huge potential for cryptocurrency out in a regulated environment. There is simply a lot of institutions and investors which are restricted in terms of investment directions. If Bitcoin was included in ETF in the United States, and this is a very regulated environment, many new investors would be able to actually buy shares of this ETF, increasing the demand for this crypto. And here we come to the price increase. More demand, bigger price. But what is the most important advantage here? Of course, it's actual discussion by community outside of cryptosphere. Many new people discussing and being included in conversation about the future of cryptocurrency is a very healthy thing for us. And now it brings us to the hot news of the day. Bitcoin ETF and the reason it was rejected by Securities and Exchange Commission. First of all, I guess that everybody knows that the United States securities are the most regulated in the world. So be careful with ICOs out there. If the American money involved, Security Exchange Commission will get you wherever you are. That's actually the reason why during the Melonport ICO, the project didn't accept American money, or simply defended itself by asking you to confirm that you are not a US citizen. And this all leads to the regulation reason. There are lots of exchanges where Bitcoin is traded, and the US is afraid that in this environment a market manipulation is highly possible. I think that they are especially concerned about the Chinese exchanges, which were previously caught with market manipulation and other factors were taken into account, such as huge thefts of Bitcoin on exchanges. Remember Bitfinex. Then we have the fear of forks. If you don't know, right now Bitcoin community is split in two. On one side, there are Bitcoin Core supporters. On the other side, there are Bitcoin Unlimited supporters. And the community cannot come to any conclusion about scaling problem. This all gives another reason for SEC to deny ETF listing. Finally, do not forget about possible technical failure in Bitcoin protocol. We cannot be sure that some hacker will not find a bug in the protocol. This is another major reason. And what about Ethereum, would you say? Actually, the same applies to Ethereum. We are not 100% protected from the same Bitcoin problems. and even more vulnerable when it comes to technical failures because of complexity of Ethereum protocol. But we would get the same advantages as Bitcoin if we were to be listed in ETF in the United States. But didn't you know that there is already Bitcoin ETF registered in Gibraltar and traded on German exchange? That's true, but as you can see, that was not number one news back then. The reason is simple. Actually, now everybody is able to purchase real Bitcoin or Ether using their credit cards. So why would people want ETF if at any given moment you can buy any amount, small or big, of cryptocurrency of your desire? This is the question for you.